The band Disturbed said it best. Bring the violence, it's significant. Violence and suffering wrestling fans. I am long-time independent wrestling fan. Robert, Arrival 2 was my very first VXS show since No Bitch Assness back in July 2019. Yeah, pre-pandemic. It was a four-way pre-show match to start the show as we saw Jimi Hendrix versus Rob McKnight. I apologize if I got his name wrong. Versus Maurice Moss versus Jay Bougie. Good four-way match to start things off. I forgot who it was, but somebody in that match hit the Dino Bravo move. If you're old enough to remember who Dino Bravo was, you know what move I'm referring to. Jay Bougie defeated Rob McKnight. Again, I apologize, I got his name wrong. Jimi Hendrix and Maurice Moss at 4 minutes 33 seconds. Then it was on to the main show as we saw the bad boy Joey Janela to battle with Russian Dynamite Masha Slamovich in a Pure Rules match. Of course, that dates back to the Ring of Honor I knew and loved, not the Ring of Honor of today. And eventually, I think Janela ended up using all his rope breaks. Janela worked on Masha's leg, put her in the figure four leg lock. It got to a point where I forgot what move Masha used, but she put a submission hold, and I guess she put a submission hold on Janela. And I don't know. Referee Nick Shin see that Janela wasn't answering about giving up, and Russian Dynamite Masha Slamovich defeated bad boy Joey Janela at 13 minutes 58 seconds. Up next, what was scheduled to be a three-way match turned into a four-way match. It was scheduled to be Morgan Dash versus Jody Ora. I'm sorry. There was a singles match that was scheduled to be Diego Hill against Dante Leon, but Dante was unable to make the show, so Diego Hill was inserted into this matchup. It was Diego Hill versus Fancy Ryan Clancy versus Morgan Dash versus Jody Ora. Pretty good match these four guys put together. Ryan Clancy still sporting that, I don't know, I still refer to it as that bunkhouse buck pose, but it's not the bunkhouse buck pose. If any of you fans are old enough to remember who bunkhouse buck was. These four really did well. I forgot how, but Jody Ora defeated Diego Hill, Morgan Dash, and Fancy Ryan Clancy to pick up the victory at 8 minutes 13 seconds. Up next, we saw former WWE star Ricardo Rodriguez take on Broski Jimmy Lloyd, who's still in that still in his Zack Ryder phase. Good match here, which saw Jimmy Lloyd defeat Ricardo Rodriguez at 4 minutes 54 seconds. Then in a match that, really caught my eye, we saw Kevin Blackwood take on Jackson Drake. These two guys really took it to each other, and they were basically given the ball, and they ran with it. Jackson Drake defeated Kevin Blackwood in 14 minutes 46 seconds. After the match, Drake gets the microphone, and he says, I don't care if you're from NXT, Pro Wrestling Noah, or TNA. And then out comes TNA World Champion Moose, former TNA World Champion Moose. He comes out, does a number on Drake. Then a bunch of guys come out. Moose attacks them, and Moose grabs one of those guys who tried to calm the situation down, picks him up for like a powerbomb, but he throws him out of the ring onto the other guys laying on the floor. And as Al Bundy would say, "Steal rake." Not baseball, folks. They all went down like a bunch of bowling pins. Up next, we see Jay Lyon take on Santana Jackson. Now, Santana Jackson dresses up as the late Michael Jackson. Imagine if Michael were a wrestler. Came out to Michael's song Smooth Criminal, which the crowd was singing some of that, and it hit the chorus hit. At one point, these guys went at it. Lyon, he did a moonsault onto Santana Jackson, like right near where I was sitting. My lovely friend Ariana and her buddy Chrissy, they all like had to get out of the way, but they didn't. I just stayed in my seat, and nothing happened. And at that point, the lights in the building go out. All of a sudden, the late Michael Jackson's Thriller starts playing. Santana Jackson comes out from under the ring, sporting the red jacket that Michael wore in the Thriller video, and he's wearing like a wolf mask. And of course, the fans, we basically, I don't know if it was ever done before, but we had violence and suffering karaoke because people knew the words to Thriller. I'll tell you one thing, folks. If my brother was a big fan of the late Michael Jackson. If he was at this show, he would have been loving this match. Eventually, Santana Jackson picks up the victory over Jay Lyon at 13 minutes, 8 seconds. VXX, bring back Santana Jackson. And maybe this very match would open the door for him to have bookings elsewhere throughout the East Coast. Ooh. Next up, we see the open challenge that was laid out by TNA Knockouts champion Jordan Grace, and it was answered by the Megasis Megan Bayne. Now, these two ladies brought it to each other, and what a match they had. Jordan Grace defeats Megan Bayne at 13 minutes, 40 seconds to retain the TNA Knockouts championship. I forgot that gentleman who came to the ring that was like a correspondent. I think he came into the ring to speak to Masha Slamovich after her win over Joey Janela. And Jordan Grace says, I'll defend this belt no matter any company against anyone. Then it was time for the main event, which saw Kenta do battle with the notorious 187 Homicide. Now, there was a guy like I don't even know. I mean, like when I go to wrestling shows, a lot of people in the crowd, they've given me the feeling they have no darn life. And this guy, he kept calling Kenta a pussy. At one point, I think he was yelling, "Grab his dick and twist it." Come on, nobody wants to see that. These guys really, they were the main event, so they really, at one point they actually went into the crowd. They went right behind where I sat. They went over to, what a rush, the tables. Sorry, folks. The tables. They went back into the ring. Then they went back out to the floor. I think at one point somebody got thrown into the chairs right out across the room from where I was sitting. Yes, alright. And eventually they get back in the ring, and at one point Kenta puts Homicide in the STF. Wow. Oh, what a rush. Eventually Homicide nails Kenta with the cop killer, the gringo killer. Homicide defeats Kenta at 28 minutes, 28 seconds. Not lying about the time on that, folks. To pick up the victory, and basically the crowd was pretty much sent home happy. Homicide, I think he got on the microphone. I forgot what he said. Let me see now if I forgot anything here at all. Okay. President knows, good seeing Ariana and Chrissy, and I didn't know they were coming, and they didn't know I was coming. Michael Sorrentino James Santiago, Jack Sabbath, Orlando Fernandez. I think he founded VXS. I don't think he's involved anymore. When I arrived at the door, Orlando was there, as was Isaac Rodriguez. Currently runs VXS. Stella, Jeff. Who else did I see in the who I knew in the crowd? Wow. La 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 la. Good thing the show ran straight through without intermission, and I do think Sam Laterna, I don't know if she'll be back ring announcing in the future for VXS or any other companies, but I think she did great. I think it's safe to say, even though I was using my megaphone, the crowd drowned me out, and Sam Laterna said that the crowd set a new record for the Mecca, which is I don't know who came up with that name for the Knights of Columbus in Ridgeville Park, New Jersey, knowing that every promotion, every promoter and their mother and their kids want to do a show in that damn building. I mean, you can just go through the list: VXS, Pro Wrestling Magic, ETU Wrestling, Game Changer Wrestling, Jersey Championship Wrestling, BCW. In the past, Battle Club Pro is run there. Wrestling Is Now is run there, and they'll be back soon. Shadow Wrestling, which is having a show coming up there. I forgot what other companies have run that building in the past, but ICW, how can I forget? They ran there in the past. Damn, that's at least 10 feds I know of have used that building. My goodness. Loud East Wrestling, that's 11 promotions I know of running that building. I could be forgetting a company. Let me take a look. La, 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 la. That's probably more that I cannot even remember. Well, I know ringing out Sam Laterna was asking the crowd if they're going to come back for Arrival 3, but no date was announced for it. Isaac? Yeah, Isaac, I sure hope, because this Arrival 2 was the first show since Arrival 1. That was back in February, which was 6 months ago. I mean, I hope VXS does run a show. Yeah, VXS does have one more show before the year is out. I mean, hopefully it won't be on a Sunday, because I don't do Sunday shows during football season. Wow. Mama. Anything else can be said about this event? We did have one heck of a crowd. I mean, people were standing. I mean, at the time I reached the building, they hadn't opened the door yet. And then they started opening doors. So then I went over to Dante's Pizza on Main Street. I've said it once, I'll say it again. They got great hero sandwiches. Man. What else can I say about this event? All right, Isaac. I know you said you wanted a 5-star review about the show. I mean, I don't know if this is going down as a 5-star video, but are you satisfied like Richard Marx? And on that very note, folks, I think I'm going to wrap this up because, you know, sure, it went straight through without intermission. Maybe it was a good thing because the show was ended between 10:30 and 11 o'clock, and I caught the next bus back to New York City. VSX, good to see how this product has grown in the last 5 years since I last went to one of your shows. Hopefully I'll make the next one, whenever that's going to be. And VXS Wrestling. Like Disturbed, like I said at the beginning of the video, as the band Disturbed said, bring the violence, it's significant. No, I'm not going to hurt my throat on that one. Hopefully there'll be more VXS Karaoke as well. Wish that somebody would bring wrestling and karaoke together. No, not a karaoke type wrestling promotion either, folks. That's not what I have in mind. Alright. VXS, 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 VXS.